Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of PGTV. I want to encourage you today and follow up on a little something that I've talked about in the past. That is honoring authorities. This is very important, especially in scenarios like this one now. I'm going to propose this idea that just because you are allowed to do something doesn't always mean that it's a good idea. We saw this in our Corinthians series. Everything is permissible, but not everything is profitable. I want you to draw a line of logic with me right now as we think this through. So here in Florida, we are under a stay-at-home order. This means only essential businesses must meet. But Florida, or can meet, that is, but Florida is a unique state in that we have a Republican governor. They honor our religious liberties. So they tend to look out for Christians here, which is a really nice thing. It's actually a luxury because as churches, we're still technically allowed to meet. But is that a good idea? At C3, we don't believe that it is. We think they're right about the social distancing, but I'm going to take it one step further. Remember I had told you in the other honoring authorities video, or maybe it was a Bible study, where I was talking about one of the reasons Roman persecution started in the first place. You see, the Romans really didn't like Christians at all. And they expelled the Jews at one point, and they saw Christians as a Jewish sect, a Jewish denomination, if you will. So they thought the Christians were weird, actually. They thought they might be cannibals because they were always going around talking about eating flesh and drinking blood. They also thought that they were incestuous because they always called each other brother and sister, even if they were married. They didn't like Christians anyway. And so I described to you that it was easy for Nero to blame the Great Fire in Rome on the Christians, and then the persecution began. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to be persecuted immediately, not at all. But here is what I am saying. I'm saying that if you've been around, you know that a lot of people don't like Christians. They have that preconceived notion anyway of us being judgmental. Maybe now you're not, but maybe someone was on your behalf as a Christian. And now a lot of people think that we're all hyper judgmental, that we're hypocrites. That's not good. So we're already starting an uphill battle here as we evangelize. Now, maybe there are some people out there who can't get work. They can't go to work because of this stay-at-home order. But we, as Christians, can meet as a church. And if we're out there flaunting it, they might get kind of jealous or angry about it. Think about it. That could happen. There's also the spread of the disease. We know that this disease spreads through airborne germs or person-to-person contact, that we should not be close to lots of people, that we should not be gathering in rooms with lots and lots of people if we want to stop the spread of this thing. But a lot of Christians are. And that's not a good thing because we could very well be blamed for this. So yeah, we're allowed to gather, but is it a good idea? I've heard some say that we need to gather as Christians. It's a necessary part of worship. Not really. You can pray by yourself. You can worship by yourself and think about it. This is probably only going to be a few weeks. Even if it's several weeks, we can take that time off and honor our authorities, honor our neighbors and the people around us so that we don't look crazy, unusual, or to blame for this whole thing. If you read your Bible, we see some amazing worship, even in a prison. Paul and Silas in Acts, they get a little bit of trouble because they hurt someone's income, and so the authorities beat them and throw them into prison in Philippi. Well, they decide they're going to worship in prison. They literally bring the house down. That worship service was only 2 people. So I'm going to encourage you. It's not going to be a really, really long time, probably. And yeah, when we can come back together, we may have to maintain social distance. But we can pray together, we can worship together through the technology that God has been so faithful to provide. Think about it. Pray about honoring your authorities and really what it takes to love your neighbor.